Okay, so everyone can see the practical question, right?
Yes.
Can okay, good. Okay, so yesterday you did a lot of experiments, a short one, but the most important thing is how you key in your data. Okay. Okay. So first, let me go and write what you're supposed to have in your report. Okay. Okay. The first thing is when you collect this, the reading. First reading, Sorry. How many decimal place do you write for the length? The length here. Determine the length and the width of your lab book. Okay, the length and the width, you use a ruler. So how much you write here? Plus minus how much? You use ruler, right? Plastic ruler. So because you use a ruler, so you're supposed to write here how much? Ruler is 0.1, 0.1 cm, right? 0.1 cm. So you're supposed to write here 0.1 cm ruler. Recall back your topic 2 knowledge. Okay, width also is going to be 0.1 cm. Okay, expected. So here all your reading here, including average, all your reading must be is a raw data or calculated data. This is your raw data or calculated data. Everything 1, 2, and average. This is your raw data. So recall back last time I told you, if raw data we use decimal place or significant figure. Raw data use decimal place. You have to follow the decimal place for raw data. So here all the raw data must follow uncertainty decimal place. How many decimal place is this? 1 decimal place. So all the reading should be 1 decimal place. For example length, let's say you got 25 centimeter, you're supposed to write 25.0. Correct. If anyone write 25 only, then wrong. Okay. So 25.0, this also must be 0.0. So the final average also must be 1 dp. Average also follow the dp. 25 point, let's say 2. Then final answer should be 25.1. So also 1 dp. Okay. So yeah, let's go down.
Isn't the uncertainty 0.05 because half?
Because this is measurement of length, because measure length. Length means when you put a ruler at the side here, you are 2 places uncertain. So should we go 0.1?
Okay.
Okay. Next, your uncertainty, the percentage error. Here, changes of L over L. Okay, in this case, changes of L should be how much? Changes of L is 0.1. L, whatever length reading you got. For my case, let's say I put 25.1 times 100%. Okay. So your final answer percentage uncertainty must be 1 or 2 significant figure. Okay, this must be 1 or 2 significant figure. Why we choose significant figure here? Anyone? Why we never follow DP, we follow here significant figure? Because this is the calculated data. This is calculated data. Okay. Calculated data. Calculated data must follow what? Like we will follow significant figure. How many significant figure? The list in the data you used. In this case, 0.1 1 significant figure. So final answer is 1 or 2. So those who write, let's say 3 SF here, you write 3 SF here, you could be penalized. Okay. Okay, so same thing goes for the width. Okay, width also the changes of W is still 0.1. Put your whatever the width value, then you get the percentage uncertainty. Okay. Okay. So next. Okay, now qualitative question. I need your feedback. Compare and comment on their percentage uncertainties. Okay. Compare. Compare means which one high greater percentage uncertainty, the length or the width? Yeah.
Length
Anyone?
is smaller.
Length or width as a greater percentage uncertainty.
The width.
The width as a greater percentage uncertainty. Good. The width as a greater percentage uncertainty. So that's what you need to write here. So the width as the width as a greater percentage uncertainty than the length. The percentage uncertainty than the length. Let's compare. Okay, comment. So, okay, this I need your feedback. So what do you want to comment here? Anyone?
Is it because the distance measure is too short compared to the length?
Very good. Yeah, the measurement. The more longer, more greater the measurement, more larger the measurement, the more smaller the percentage uncertainty. That's the comment. Okay. So the more greater the measurement or more larger the measurement, much more smaller the percentage uncertainty. Okay. So comment is greater the measurement, smaller the percentage uncertainty. Okay. So this is a very important experimental technique trying to reveal the. So whenever you do take measurement, let's say dropping an object from certain height to measure gravity, the height you choose is try to make as larger as possible. Make the measurement larger as possible so that the percentage uncertainty for that reading will be smaller. Okay, that's the comment here. Greater the measurement, the magnitude of the measurement, smaller the percentage uncertainty. Okay. Okay, so that's the first part. Any questions? Okay, I hope you understand how to fill up the table. Okay, let's go down. Check your data again. Okay, next is your vernier caliper. Vernier caliper. So vernier caliper and micrometer screw gauge. Okay, vernier caliper. What needs to be right? What is the percentage? What is the uncertainty in the vernier caliper? There are two types of vernier caliper. The one you get in your lab yesterday, the vernier scale, the vernier scale at the bottom. Do you have 0 and you have 5 intervals? Then you get 1. Or do you immediately have the vernier scale like 0, 1, 2, 3? Do you get the first one or the second one?
The second one.
You get the second one. Okay, if you get the second one means what is the uncertainty for the vernier caliper will be? Because half of the, smaller scale, right? Because you read at the main scale, then you read the vernier scale, you repeat it two times. So half of the scale become what you call smaller scale. What is the smaller scale in vernier caliper? The one you used here should be 0.01 cm, right? Okay, so this should be 0.01 cm. If you use this, that means my understanding is the main scale, let's say 3, your vernier scale just get 0, 1, 2, and 3, and 4 up to 9. If your scale is like this, then your uncertainty should be 0.01 cm. Okay.
I think I got the first one.
Oh, you got the first one, or jumble up. Okay, those who got the first one, what's your uncertainty will be? What is your smaller scale for the first one? Your vernier smaller scale. So 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? You get 1, correct? So this one reading is actually 0.01 cm, and this is the smaller scale for this vernier caliper. But this type is already divided by 5, so your small scale will be 0.01 divided by 5. So the smaller scale is how much? 0.002 cm. Okay, 0.002 cm. So those who got the first one with 5 in division from 0 to 1, you must write 0.002 cm. Those who get like this, then you must write 0.01 cm. So 0.01 cm for this type of a vernier caliper, and 0.02 cm, 0.02 cm, those who got this type of vernier caliper. Okay. Oh, the vernier caliper has been mixed up for you. Okay, so I think most probably in exam, they're going to give you the 0.002. Okay, 0.002. I think we learned these two in our theory last time. Okay, you check the PowerPoint, you can see clearly both type of vernier caliper, how to write. Okay, so those who wrote 0.01, 0.01, so here how many dp you need to write? 2 dp, and your reading must be 2 dp, all must be 2 dp. So 2 dp and average also 2 dp, those who are using the first type. Okay, those who are using the second type, the 0.0012, how many dp you need to write? Because 0.002 you must write your reading 3 dp, all 3 dp, so all 3 dp. So 0.00.
But what if, like in our table right here, it doesn't put in cm, it put in mm.
Your vernier is in cm, right?
Yeah, but in our table, in our paper, it's in mm. In the paper that we print.
Oh, the one print.
Yeah.
This is the paper I just, okay. If it's in mm, I think your micrometer only in mm, right? Your vernier also mm. Check, your vernier is mm also.
Oh.
Vernier is
CM.
cm. Your micrometer, I think mm. Correct?
Yeah, micrometer. But this one is for the vernier question also.
The vernier also they put mm.
Yeah.
Oh, they put mm. Okay. I think you better change to cm because vernier normally cm. You put it cm. Okay. Normally micrometer is mm. You put it in mm. Okay. So 2 type. So check which one. For a vernier caliper 0.002, you have to follow 3 dp, all 3 dp. Okay. So micrometer. And come to micrometer. Micrometer, I think all of you standard. All of you get the one as 50 divisions, right? You have 50 divisions interval, right, in your micrometer. So what is the uncertainty you should write? 0. In mm, what? 0.01 mm. 0.01 mm. Okay, 0.01 mm. So this micrometer is standard 0.01 mm. Then all your reading you got here must write in how many dp? So because uncertainty is 0.01 mm, 2 dp, so all your reading here must be 2 dp. In mm, must be in mm. Okay, any questions so far? Can understand, Okay, let's go down. Okay, so now come to percentage uncertainty for the T. So as usual, percentage uncertainty for the thickness, the T, the thickness is depend. You have 2 choice, either 0.01 or 0.002 centimeter to be used. Depend which vernier you used, divided by the thickness you measured. Put the thickness times 100%. Your final answer 1 or 2 significant figure only. Okay. So micrometer, the same thing. Changes of T, the change of the thickness uncertainty is 0.01 mm for micrometer, and put the thickness value as usual times 100%. So final answer is 1 or 2 SF only. It's very important. I'm going to check this. More than 2 SF, you write 3 SF. How accurate your reading you're going to get wrong. Okay. So raw data use what? Raw data follow decimal places. Calculated data follow significant figure. This is very important. Okay. So I think so far so good. So I hope you cope up. Okay, part B. Compare and comment the uncertainties. Okay, so compare. Actually, you are measuring the same reading, the thickness, right? You're measuring the same thickness, Okay. Yeah, both are measuring the same thickness, the thickness of the lab manual. So what do you like to comment about compare? Which has a lower percentage error? The reading by using micrometer or the reading by using a vernier caliper?
Micrometer.
Very good. So the answer is micrometer screw gauge percentage error is much more smaller than the reading by using a vernier caliper. Okay, by using the vernier caliper. Micrometer screw gauge percentage error is much more smaller than the percentage error produced by the vernier caliper. That's your compare. Okay, comment? So anyone like to comment? So what's your comment?
The uncertainty is smaller than vernier caliper.
Again, what do you say?
The uncertainty of micrometer screw gauge is smaller than the uncertainty of vernier caliper.
Okay, good. Therefore, MSG is more precise instrument. So more precise instrument than the vernier caliper. Okay, so that's a comment. So you say of course the uncertainty of MSG is much more smaller than the vernier caliper. Therefore, micrometer screw gauge is more precise instrument than the vernier caliper. Okay, so that's what we can say. More precise. Okay, MSG is a better instrument because it's more precise than the vernier caliper because it gives more decimal places. So under comment, you said the uncertainty for MSG is much more smaller than the vernier caliper. Therefore, MSG is more precise instrument than the vernier caliper. Okay, so that's your comment here. So you learn two technique here, how to minimize the percentage error. The first one you learn is use a larger reading. Okay. So second one you try to use instrument which more precise, which can give you more decimal places. Like this case, like instead of vernier, if micrometer screw gauge can use, then you use MSG. Micrometer screw gauge, only problem with micrometer screw gauge, I think the maximum range you can go is I think within 5 centimeter. So within 5 centimeter, I think you can go for MSG because more precise the instrument. Okay. Okay. So 3. Okay, 3 is length. Pendulum hung pivotal climbed by 2 wooden blocks. Determine the period of the oscillation. So you calculate the period of the oscillation and observe. Okay. So the length. What do you need to write here? Anyone? Because you measure by using what? By using ruler again, right? Yes, ruler. So you measure by using a ruler. Okay, the length of the string. So it should be how much? 0.1 cm. Should be 0.1 cm. Ruler. 2 places uncertain. Put a ruler, measure the length here and here, 2 places uncertain. So it becomes 0.1 cm. Okay. Okay. So, yeah.
Teacher, wait. It's right here. The question is not about the uncertainty of the ruler. It's about the uncertainty of the oscillation, like T time.
Here the length is ruler.
Not right over here. It doesn't say to. There's no question about that one. It's only about the time. Uncertainty.
Oh. Your paper is you print out from the times, is it?
Yeah.
Or print out from the times,
There is slight differences between teachers and
or slight differences, So in your times, the paper they don't have length uncertainty, is it?
No.
The length they just leave it as empty, nothing.
No, there's like uncertainty of T and then the table, but it's not like a table, it's like T1, T2, and then T average, and then capital T, like that.
Oh, okay. So they didn't
So
put
it's
that.
like similar, but there's differences a bit.
Oh, differences, eh? Okay. Okay. So, okay, how many of you printed out from the times, eh? Many. Okay. Okay, so let's try to follow this table. Is it a big difference? Only the length, right? Only the length, eh? So you get T1, T2, and T3, eh? Okay. Okay. Here, your case is your table is like this. The other one, the main one. What do you get? The main one. Do you have length? Is it?
No, it's not like a table, it's like vertical sentences of T1, T2, and T average, and then T capital.
T capital. Oh, okay. So only about the T, eh?
Yes.
Okay. Your T, you can the 20T, right? The 20T, you can take it as a small t. This is your T1. This is your T1. This is your T1, T2, and T3. Okay. This is your T1, T2, and T3. So 20T is actually small t. Small t is time for 20 oscillations. Okay. So your small t, okay, matter. The small t, you follow how many decimal places? Your small t, you use stopwatch. Okay. How many decimal place you need to write here? Plus minus how much? The stopwatch digital on the screen. How many decimal place it shows? 2, right? So 0.01 second or 0.1 second, both accepted. Okay, both accepted. We discussed this in theory last time, right? 0.01 second is displayed on the instrument, but as a human, we are not sensitive for the second digit, the second digit. So therefore, we round it to 0.1 second. Okay, so here I prefer you to write how much? Prefer to write 0.1 second for the small t, time for 20 oscillations.
Yes, it is 0.1, but like there is a note over there. There is like the uncertainty of a stopwatch is the smallest digit displayed. So like, do we count human reaction or the stopwatch?
Okay, in the Cambridge mark scheme, they accept both.
Okay.
Okay, so you want to follow with 0.01, still correct, not wrong. They give both option. But you see, as if you go doing PhD and further, and you are using this stopwatch, and you are presenting a paper, let's say, in the future, 0.1 second looks more logical. Okay, so I prefer use 0.1, but both accepted. Okay, so here you're reading, let's say your whatever time you got, you can write 1 dp, all must be 1 dp. All of them must be 1 dp. 1 dp reading, and those who are using 0.01 seconds, then you can write all the reading with 2 dp. Okay, both accepted. Okay, so let's say for 20 oscillation, you got, I follow the 1 dp one. I follow the 1 dp one. Let's say you got 24.1 second. Let's say one example value, 24.1 second for 20 oscillations. Now you're going to write the period. Okay, period is categorized as calculated data. Period is categorized as what? As calculated data. As a calculated data. So if it's a calculated data, so you follow significant figure or decimal place. So calculated always follow significant figure. So 24.1. This is your raw data. Raw data. From here you get your period word. How do you get period? The 24.1, you divide by 4, right? After you take the average. After you take the average, that average value divide by 3, if you got repeated 3 times, divide by 3, you get the period. The period must follow the significant figure of your average value. So in this case, looks like 3 SF, so you must go for 3 SF here for period. So period must be 3 SF or 1 extra SF allowed. So 4 SF is allowed. Okay, but the correct one is 3 SF. If you follow this reading, this reading 24.1, 3 SF. So period must be 3 SF. Any question? Okay, I hope you understand. Period is a calculated data. Okay. Okay, so now come to volume. So I think the two graph, the description is slightly different. How about this one? 4. So 4, you find the density of a material of a mass over volume. Of course, you are given a pendulum bob. Pendulum bob. So find the volume. Okay, volume. What method do you use? Do you use the water displacement method? Water displacement method. Water displacement method. The measuring cylinder given. What is the smallest scale?
0.1.
Yeah, 0.1.
0.1.
0.1.
Yeah.
0.1 ml, is it?
It gave us the 50 ml1, I think. Yeah.
15 ml one. So the smallest scale is 0.1 ml. The smallest scale. So here volume 0.1 ml is actually 0.1 centimeter cube. 0.1 centimeter cube. 1 ml is equivalent to 1 centimeter cube, right? For water. For water. So here we write centimeter cube. So it should be 0.1. The uncertainty must be 0.1 centimeter cube. So whatever measurement you got, let's say you got 26 ml. So here you should write what? 26.0. Okay. Volume before and after. Yeah, correct. Sorry, I made a mistake here. What's the mistake? This is the pointer reading one. This is just the pointer reading. You're not 2 places uncertain. You just see the pointer reading one. The pointer reading, you must go for smaller scale or half of the smaller scale.
Half
of the smaller scale. So smaller scale 0.1 means here half of the smaller scale must be 0.05. Should use half of the smaller scale, right? Because the pointer reading only one reading, right? So half of the smaller scale, so 0.05. So here you must write by, if you got exactly 26 ml, you must write 26.00. So follow the 2 rule when you fill up the values here. What is the 2 rule? The uncertainty must be always 1 significant figure, and both reading must be what? Both reading must be same decimal place. Same decimal place. Follow the 2 rule. Okay. So 26.00 plus minus 0.05. Okay. After same thing, 0.05 here. Here your new reading, after you put a pendulum bob here, maybe it rises 31, let's say. So here you should write 31.00. So we're going to check the decimal places. Okay. So now the volume of the pendulum. When you come to the volume of the pendulum, what it is? Volume of the pendulum, this reading is actually volume of this. Let's say this is your V1, this is your V2, this is your volume. So we know the volume is equals to what? V2 minus V1, right? V2 minus V1. So I use my data, for example, 31 and 26, you get 5. So 5. And what is the uncertainty for volume will be now? Changes of V2 plus changes of V1, right? Because minus 1. So your volume uncertainty will be how much? Anyone? So 0.05 plus 0.05, your uncertainty for volume will be 0.1. Okay, it will be 0.1. These two uncertainty add up because V2 minus V1. When it comes to uncertainty, the two uncertainty add up. So here, the pendulum should be how much? Here, for my case, I got 5. So how am I supposed to write here? 5.0. I must write 5.0. Okay, this is one significant figure. Must be same decimal place. Okay, same decimal place. Okay, when I mark, we'll be checking the decimal place and the significant figure. So any questions so far up to here? Okay, next, mass of the pendulum bob. I think you use the weighing scale, right? The digital one. Okay. How many decimal place the weighing scale provide to you? How many dp? The day 2 dp, right?
Yeah.
2 dp. So here, what is the uncertainty should write here? 0.01. Because it's digital. Digital, you must go for smaller scale. You must go for smaller scale. Smaller scale is your uncertainty. So 0.01. 2 decimals, so 0.01. So let's say here you got anyone? What is the gram you get for your pendulum bob? Any suggestion? How many gram you got?
58.56. Well, 58.56.
Okay, 58.56. I think here you exactly have to put all the values. So 58.56. 58.56 plus minus 0.01. Then correct. Okay, so 0.01, 2 decimal places, same as one significant figure, but 2 decimal places. Both must have the same decimal place, 2 decimal places. Okay, so let's go down. Okay, density. Now this is important. Your density, how do you calculate? So of course, mass divided by volume, whatever mass you get. So in this case, I use my mass. Okay, let me use my mass. Yeah, your mass. Yeah, the mass your friend provide is 58.56 exactly need to be placed divided by volume. Okay, I don't want to use my volume. Okay, what is your volume? You got anyone?
7.
7.
Yes, 7.00. Yeah.
Okay, 7.00. So you put 7.00. Okay, so final answer. We are checking the final answer. The final answer, you follow significant figure or decimal place. That's important because this is a calculated again. So you follow significant figure. How many significant figure you need to write? The list. The top is 4 SF. Okay. Down is considered like 3 SF. Yeah, it's 3 SF. So final answer must go for how many SF? 3 SF. Okay. The smallest significant among the data I use. So the reading here must be 3 SF. Okay, 3 SF is the correct one. You go 1 extra, still allowed. Or 1 extra, 4 significant figure, still allowed by Cambridge. They still give mark. But the correct one is 3 SF. 3 SF. Okay. Okay, so anyone, what's your answer you got? 58.56 divided by 7. Those who got that data, tell me what is your 3 SF value? Anyone? 58.56 divided by 7.
8.37.
Okay, so 8.37 you're supposed to write. So those who write 8.3 wrong. If anyone write 8.4 wrong, okay, cannot go for 2 SM, must be 3 SM. This is significant. Okay. So now, after this is calculation. Okay, now given that the percentage uncertainty for the rho is equals to percentage uncertainty for the M plus percentage uncertainty for the B. Calculate the percentage uncertainty for the rho and the absolute uncertainty for the rho. Okay, first percentage uncertainty. Okay, this is we learned theory a lot last time. I believe you can understand this statement. Changes of rho, like rho is equals to what? M over V. So yeah, the changes of rho over rho times 100% should be equivalent to changes of M over M times 100% plus what? Changes of V over V times 100%. Your theoretical information. Last time we do this. So that's what they did, the first statement. Percentage uncertainty for the rho is equals to percentage uncertainty for the M and V. Okay, do that here. So find the percentage uncertainty for the rho. Okay, the percentage uncertainty for the rho is, can you find the percentage uncertainty for the M? So 58, what is the percentage uncertainty for M? M is 0.01 divided by 58.56 times 100%, 100% bracket plus with your volume percentage uncertainty. Your volume percentage uncertainty is what? I used the data just now, 7. 7 is the volume. So 0.05, right? Half of the smaller scale of the measuring cylinder divided by 7.00 times 100%. Yeah, so times 100%. Sorry, let me wrap this. Times 100%. I give you the percentage uncertainty for the rho. Okay. So the reading here, you can go 1 or 2 SF. You can go for 1 or 2 SF, the reading. Because follow the least significant, 0.01 is 1 SF. So we can go for 1 or 2 SF. Okay. That's your percentage uncertainty for density. Okay, then. Okay. So those, anyone got the percentage uncertainty? How much you got? Anyone, those who get 58.56 and divide by 7, you got 8.37 your density. So you find the percentage, right? How much the percent you got? Nobody have the calculation. Okay, let's say I put a value. Let's say I put a value. This is my number. Let's say you got 7.7%. Let's say you got 7% here. So how do you write the final answer? Or they want the absolute uncertainty. How do you find the absolute uncertainty for the density now? So changes of rho over rho times 100% now will be the 7%. Will be the 7%. Then you can find the changes of rho. Your changes of rho is your absolute uncertainty. Okay. The rho here, you must put the 8.37 and the density you calculated earlier. Put down, you find the changes of rho. The changes of rho is your absolute uncertainty. Changes of rho, you write how many significant figure? Anyone? You go for only one significant figure. Absolute uncertainty always one significant figure. Okay. So whatever absolute uncertainty you got, then you transfer here. Okay. Then your density you're going to write, follow the 2 rules. The first rule is what? The first rule is the changes of rho must be one significant figure. Then second rule is what? Second rule is rho and changes of rho must be same decimal place. Follow that rule. So when I see the reading here, for example, changes of rho. Changes of rho, let's say 0.24 means your density, you must write 8.37. 8.37. Same decimal places. Both must be same decimal places. They must be same decimal place.
Sir.
Yeah.
For the volume of the pendulum, should we use 7.0 or 7.00?
For the volume of okay, 7.00. Okay, 7.00. Yeah, put 7.00. Oh no, the volume. Sorry, the volume. The volume is final, right? Yeah. Yeah, one decimal place lah. 7.0. Sorry, you must put 7.0. Because volume is after minus before what? So your decimal place become 1 what? 1, yeah. Oh, I made a mistake here. So here the volume is what? your uncertainty for the volume should be not 0.05, right? Should be what? 0.1. Should be 0.1. Yeah. Here one. And the volume 0.1. 0.1 divided by 5. Okay. Any other question?
Could teacher, could sir repeat why is it 0.1? What 0.1?
Okay. Here we are using the volume of the sphere, right? Here up here you got 3 readings, volume after, volume before, volume. You have to use the volume, right? The volume, the third reading. The third reading, the uncertainty becomes 0.1.
Okay.
So you have to use this reading one. You have to use this reading. So the uncertainty is 0.1. The value is 1 dp. Okay. Okay, class. So the last part, C. We stop here after we done the C. What measurement would you improve in order to increase the precision of density of the measurement? Okay, what measurement would you improve in order to increase the precision of the density measurement? Okay, which reading gives the greatest percentage error, the volume or the mass?
Volume.
The volume gives the greatest percentage error. So you have to tell something about volume. So which measurement need to be improved? The measurement of the volume to be improved. Okay, how do you improve the measurement of the volume? Anyone?
I must be parallel to the scale, measurement scale.
You use instrument measuring cylinder which has a more precise scale. Is it? More precise scale. Smaller scales. So use a measuring cylinder which has a more precise scale, better precision. Use a measuring cylinder which has a better precision. Or any other technique? Anyone? Anyone? You want to find density of the material of the pendulum bob? So anyone?
Meniscus.
That parallax error. Parallax error, okay, can be added as a supporting factor. In this case, use a better measuring cylinder which is more precise. Second, make the reading larger. More larger it is, more lower the percentage uncertainty, right? More larger the reading, more smaller the percentage uncertainty, right? So use a pendulum bob which has a bigger size, bigger sphere is to be used, so that the reading of the volume is greater. Minimize the percentage uncertainty. So 2 factors here. Use a bigger sphere, a larger sphere, and second, use a measuring cylinder which has a more precision, more precise measuring cylinder to be used. Okay. Any other question? Okay, class. I think time's up. So we stop here. So 12 o'clock. We continue finish it off this. Then we discuss the semester paper. Okay, then we stop here. So next class is at 12 o'clock today, right?
Yes.
Yes. I see you then 12. Okay. Bye.